Hello, I'm Kristen Oaks-White.
And I'm Avery Davidson. Thank you for joining us for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
Well, shrimp season officially opened on May 16th, but this year the Gulf might be a little quieter than normal for the shrimping industry.
As TWILA's Neil Melancon tells us, tough economic times mean fewer boats in Louisiana's waters.
Cocodrie sits at the southern end of Terrebonne Parish. It's always been a quiet town. As shrimp season opens here, these docks are too quiet as many have sold their boats. Third-generation shrimper Chad Porche says he knows why.
If you catch 45,000 pounds of shrimp, you come to the dock and you got $20,000 and you got $20,000 expense. This dude just went out for 20 days away from his family for nothing.
It's become trendy down here to build big homes by folks from out of town, but locals aren't as well off. Signs from previous hurricanes are still present years later.
I think they said it was like one of the boats anyway was worth $1 million. I just sold that boat the other day for like $300,000. To replace the boat was like $1.5 million. You can't even sell it for what it's worth. So everything you work for your whole life, you're really not even turning a profit at the end of the deal selling it.
Chad's wife, Angela, minds the books for the company. She says things just aren't adding up for those living the traditional way of life here.
I would say at least a third to half of the shrimpers have recently gone out of business because of the high fuel, the low prices of shrimp, the imports flooding our market. And it's a very sad situation. We have a few that hung on real tight, and they're still hanging on real tight. I would say pretty much by a thread.
It may be hard to believe things are tough for shrimpers, especially if you're paying more in a restaurant. However, inflation on the consumer end hasn't caught up to the producer end.
We're just seeing prices that really are equal or lower than the 1980s. Shrimp is the one commodity that is just really not seeing any inflation. So the prices just really are at a record level low.
Chad's cutting up some fish he caught near the docks. Nearby, his son is working the family business but won't go out to catch shrimp as they've had to sell their boats themselves. Still, Chad says it's diversifying their business and faith in their way of life that keeps them going.
I think things are going to change, you know. Nothing never stays the same, so I guess that's faith. Got to have a good woman in your life too. That helps out. And then most of all these fishermen, that's what they got.
Restaurants famous for serving fresh Gulf shrimp depend on boats like the one here behind me. However, all of that could go away. All of the U.S. demand could be satisfied by imports, but those imports don't meet the same standards we're used to here in the United States. Unless we act to preserve the native shrimp industry, all of this could be gone. Reporting from Cocodrie, Louisiana, I'm Neil Melancon.
Shrimp season for inland waterways usually runs from May to July. This is the brown shrimp season, while the white shrimp season is in the fall.